Wonderful. Hello and welcome to what? I don't know. Anyways, it's Mon Mothma's HoloNet. We're just posting on it. Welcome back to Mothma Net News on our 50-day countdown to Andor Season 2. Today's guest, would you like to introduce yourself and what we are talking about today?
I would. I'm Savi at andorisms on TikTok and Twitter, and today we're talking about Bix.
As we should.
Ever.
Exactly. And it's even more special because this episode is coming out on International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to Bix.
It's her day.
It's her day. Yeah. So shall we dive right in?
Sure.
Bix is wonderful. Just straight up wonderful. Like, I don't have anything unkind to say about her.
Yeah, I definitely don't either. I fell in love with her like the moment that picture of her. I don't know if you remember, because you were on like Twitter active like, all the way back when Andor was like, kind of, I guess, trickling out with all of those photos and stuff. And that first photo of her with like her cute ass little, sorry, can we curse on this? Yeah. With like her cute little braids and like her small little smile.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's the baby. That's her. Like, I'm gonna put her in my pocket and take her everywhere. But yeah, that's how I feel about her all the time.
And don't you have like mini Bix that you can actually put in your pocket and carry around with you?
Yeah, she'll be coming with me a lot.
Yay! Yeah, I agree. Like the first time I saw her, I was like, wow, I like her. Just a funky little character. Just want to hold on to her and protect her from everything in the galaxy that would hurt her. I'm looking at Dedra in my mind right now.
I know. I worry about their, if they do interact in season 2, what that will look like.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. But I'm pleased that in the trailer, when she and Cassian were walking away from their explosion, they looked like total fucking badasses.
I know.
That's just, I was like, yes, perfect.
It was definitely like hopefully not the same ending, but it was definitely like a Bonnie and Clyde-esque.
Yeah.
Like, you're too cool to look at the explosion you're walking away from.
Yeah.
Didn't even flinch or blink.
Yeah.
It was very sexy.
That was not their first explosion. I hear something drop in the kitchen and I jump 50 feet. So they're definitely cooler than I am.
It's not their first rodeo.
Yeah. I think that she's such an important character because so much of the plot requires Bix. Like Luthen showing up on Ferrix and getting Cassian fuck out of Dodge. And, all of that. Even I would say technically Tim's actions, somewhat she had like a little bit of it has to do with her. Even like it's not her fault at all. He made his choices to betray his community and put everyone in danger, including Bix. But so much of the show couldn't happen without Bix. Sure, it's called Andor, but it could also be called Caleen, and it would still work.
I know. Well, if you think about it, like I was thinking about season 1 and how it's basically like one big snowball effect, because it's like if like Cassian had never gone to Morlana 1, but then also it's like if Tim never reported Cassian and if Bix didn't do this and if blah blah blah, then it was like, it's crazy to think that like fast forward all the way to Rogue One, that like if a lot of these characters in Andor season 1 didn't do what they did, then we would have never had the story. But yeah, it's like both really cool and depressing to think about.
Yeah, it's Bix is another one of those characters that every time I think about, I'm like, I love you. Don't die. Please don't die. I want her to just be on a beach somewhere sipping a little cocktail.
Yeah, she definitely deserves like a nice and strong mojito after
Yeah.
season 1. Like, hopefully Brasso made her something strong on Ganji
Yeah.
Moon when they landed.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to recover from what had just happened to her. Because she is one of those characters that, like, just watching everything she went through, I was like, she was one of the characters I was sobbing over in Rick's Road. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Well, that scene of her humming the funeral song always
Mhm.
gets me because it's like she knows it by heart. And
Mhm.
what has she gone through to know it?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
where even
Right.
where her brain is messed up in a way, it's like she
Mhm.
still has that, and it's like, oh, what traumas have you experienced?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like I kind of feel like she's somebody who doesn't have a lot of family, given that, you know, she's so invested in taking care of Marva when Cassian is gone. And, you know, I feel like her and Brasso are in a similar position where they've probably lost like a lot of their family. And so that's why they're like, oh, you know, Cassian means a lot to us. And obviously in his absence, we're gonna do what we can to take care of his mom. The two of them, I'm like ultimate community leaders because they are like, we will not leave anyone behind. You know?
Yeah, the way they banded together, and even when Brasso and Cassian reunited again, and how Brasso
Mhm.
had hotel workers like watching out for Bix,
Mhm.
couldn't. It's like they, like you said, like they never leave anybody behind. It's like even
Mhm.
if they can't physically be there for them.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Yeah.
love Barracks. I love Barracks.
Ferrex is, oh, I love it.
I want to go
So
to there.
I want to go to there, even though, like, personally, Chandrilla is my favorite planet. I love Ferrex because it just feels so. It feels like a true community,
Yeah.
right? And you see it with so many of the characters and the way that, you know, even if there's like that tension, right?
Yeah.
You see a little bit of that tension with like Nurchi and Cassian, and, you know, it's like you can acknowledge your neighbor's faults, but at the same time, you know, you look out for each other.
Yeah.
And Tim kind of broke the community code in betraying essentially betraying Bix because she would have, you know, told him that in confidence. And he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm jealous of Cassian, so I'm going to rat him out. And ultimately, that does lead to Bix being imprisoned and interrogated by Deborah. And it's like, I don't know if if he had lived and he watched the consequences of his actions, I don't know if he would make the same ones. Because how could you ever want to put Bix in danger? Ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a really good point. I think I'm thinking about that now too. Like he just ran purely off of jealousy.
Yeah.
And then their like love scene, I wouldn't even call it like a love scene. They're like implied sex scene, I guess. Like,
yeah.
It was so nasty to me and not romantic at all because it almost felt in a way that he was using her. Like he was like, I don't know. It just felt like a very egotistical moment for him where he was like, well, like Bix comes home to me, and like trust me, but like ultimately he still went on to go break her trust.
Yeah.
So, I know they say not all men, but this man.
There's at least two men who do have actions in this show that just chalk up to complete jealousy over a way better man, and it's Tim and Perrin. It's the only this has nothing to do with Bix at all, but the only time we see Perrin make physical contact with Mon is after he literally pulls her away from Tay in episode 7 and puts his hand on her back.
Oh my god!
And I was like, oh, so you're a jealous little bitch, Perrin.
I have to rewatch now. I mean, even though I've watched it like 8,000 times, I think that calls for another rewatch.
There's never too many times to rewatch Andor. I say in the middle of another rewatch.
I know. Well, now's the perfect time. So
it is. And then we just have the third little link of the trilogy of pain, as I'm gonna nickname it. Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and then Rogue One.
I know. Well, when I was rewatching the trailer for like the umpteenth time, this one has such like a more hopeful tone to it.
Yeah.
And not only because they use like a real song in it and like it's fun and exciting, but it just like even just the title card with like the light shining in just like feels a lot more differently than like the dark, menacing Andor title card. So I don't know. Also, what gives me hope about Bix this season, where I don't feel like she's going to die, and maybe I'll eventually eat my words, but Tony Gilroy has said in like so many interviews that he's not going to do what everybody thinks he's going to do.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that everyone thinks that he's going to do a Rogue One where everybody dies, or like most do. And I don't think Tony is a lazy writer.
Yeah.
So I think that him killing everyone, this is in my opinion, I'm not like a famous screenwriter, but like if he killed everyone, I feel like it could be chalked up to like writing. So I don't know. I have faith for her. I feel like I'm more worried about Brasso than I am about Bix.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the shot we see of him. He's being like stormtroopers are trying to take him down, and simultaneously I would love to be one of those stormtroopers, but at the same time I'm like, I acknowledge how large this man is. He is large and handsome, and I don't want to be in that situation.
Well, this is the second time he will have like used his body against stormtroopers.
That is true.
Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. And he has a beard now, so maybe he can use like his like Cassian, like his weapon of handsomeness or whatever the books are calling it.
Yeah, I feel like the more characters that remain alive, it also opens up so much more storytelling opportunities for them for the future. We can have like Caleen, an Andor, a Rogue One story type thing. I don't know.
A prequel to Andor, which is a prequel to Rogue One.
Isn't that the Reign of the Empire trilogy, though?
Yeah, so a prequel to Rogue One, which is the sequel to Andor, which is the sequel to Reign of the Empire.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, just because, sure, it would be painful to watch Cassian react to like everyone that he loves in the galaxy dying, but wouldn't it be more tragic if they had to react to losing him? Like,
yeah. See, that's a really good point, and then I hope they go with it, because it would be so freaking cool if like the last final shot isn't just Cassian like getting on the ship to Kafrene, but like literally showing his quote unquote like his family, the freaks, like react to him dying, or like I don't know. Oh, I'm scared.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Another character I want to stay away from Bix in this new season is Krennic. He's already definitely making eyes at Mon in the trailer, and I'm like, stay away from her, get a job. But a point could be made. It could be helpful, but stay away from her. Just stay away from Bix.
What point? Now I'm curious.
It could be hot.
Okay, I didn't want to say anything, but then I was like, wait, just the way he was like looking at her. I'm such like a multi-shipper. It's really embarrassing in some situations.
Yeah.
I'll ship anything as long as it's, not like freaky and weird, but like I'll ship anything that like So I mean, if it's there,
like I have been like a Jyn Cassian shipper since I first saw Rogue One. I was like, they died in each other's arms, and then Andor came out, and I was like, okay, Bix and Cassian, yes. And then I was like, okay, Bix and Brasso, also yes. And I was like, this is a great way to think. Being a multi-shipper is just the best.
I know, you truly never lose. Because whoever ends up with whoever, like, it's like, you're going to be happy because you are shipping it anyways.
Exactly.
Ultimately, like, I ship Bix with happiness. So it's like,
that's true. Yeah.
Happiness. So it's like, whoever they end up with, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless that's alone.
No.
Which that's pain. That's the opposite of happiness. Yeah. Bix needs to make it through this season. Otherwise I'll cry. I will sue Tony Gilroy.
Hold on, let me grab my cat. She was trying to eat she was trying to bite into my book, but I know this is Jackie. I know. If he does anything to Bix out, he'll be getting a lot of bills in the mail.
Yeah, therapy bills. He's gonna have like court summons. It's gonna be a lot.
I'm taking that man to court.
Yeah. Hasn't she been through enough?
I know. It's like one of those things where I'm like, okay, well, if she went through all of season 1, like literally getting tortured, then did she have like her peaceful moment in season 2?
Yeah. Because I mean, Cassian got to go to the beach and then he got arrested, which sucked. But it did give me my greatest reaction every time when I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order and one of those KX droids just like grabs me by the throat. I just screaming as I'm clicking the buttons, like, tell him you mean watch.
Tell him you mean.
And my partner, we were on a call together. He was like, are you gonna say that every single time? And I was like, yes. I don't know how else to react.
Tell him you mean what? That's really good.
First time I killed one, I was like, I'm so sorry, K2, I killed one of your people.
I'm sure K2 doesn't mind.
No. We also watched him like completely dismantle another KX droid kind of mentally in Rogue One. He was just like, let's just do this.
Yeah, that's true. I always forget that happened. Okay, too. I wonder what his relationship, if they meet, hopefully they do, will be like with Bix. I feel like she's gonna hate his ass.
Yeah, he is a problem. But I love him at the same time. I could literally feel her being like, why can't you be more like B?
I know. And the suspicious lack of B is scaring me.
Mm-hmm.
Scaring me.
There are so many characters I'm like, I need proof of life from you, like right now.
Like, where was Val?
Cinta. Draven we know is okay. Yeah. Right? Because we know when he dies.
I know.
Tay, where is Tay in the trailer? Where is Lita in the trailer? That was probably her wedding, and we don't even see her.
I know. Well, I think Cinta was in it for like a split second. It's like one of the very beginning shots. It's like all of the compilation of like Cassian walking and then Bix walking, and she has her hair in like a low bun. I watched it frame by frame, so I'm like pretty sure it was her.
We may have proof of life for Cinta. Bless.
Not Vel.
Yeah.
I have to grab my cat again. Out! Go! I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Come here, Mazel. Okay. She's just like obsessed with paper and like crunchy things. And I'm
was it the Mask of Fear that she was trying to eat? Or
no? So my copy hasn't come in the mail yet because I got the Goldsboro one, but
nice.
I have a print that I'm flattening for a frame, and she's just trying to bite it. Look at her little silly face.
She looks so guilty. She looks so guilty. Like, I know exactly what I did. If anything happens to Vel, hasn't Mon been through enough? Like,
I know. I part of me wonders, like, she is also like a very lonely woman by the time we see her again in Rogue One, and it's like, I feel like her and Cassian like kind of bond over that, where they both everything, but I hope that they don't lose everything in like the
Mhm.
death way. Like I don't want them to be.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah. Like
This is tough, Ash. We're in a
it's
tough
so it's so stressful. Like I can't
I know. It's gone to the
I
point where I'm worried about like our sanity.
I've never been less okay about a show in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like a Game of Thrones fan.
Oh wow.
So
You know what the trenches are like.
I know the trenches. I've been in this fight since I was 12 years old.
This is like the first show that I've been like really freaky about and like
Yeah.
crazy. Like I've never locked in harder than I've ever locked in before than with Andor, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. Like
Yeah.
I'm flying to Japan for this.
Yeah.
Like that's how
Yeah. It's like sure, Star Wars celebration, but Andor.
Yeah. I mean, I love Star Wars as a whole. Like I've loved it since I was 8 years old, but like
Yeah.
there's something about Andor where they put like crack cocaine in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same way that I feel about Rogue One, where I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's just I'll put it on. I'll put it on and my mood will be somewhat better. Will I be crying by the end of it? Yeah, but that's just a side effect, you know?
That's what happens
And
when you
I'm
put
like,
on one.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just there's just something special in there. And yeah, part of it I will chalk up to Genevieve O'Reilly because I'm just a huge Mon Mothma fan.
Yeah.
And Rogue One was really the movie where it was like, hey, she's a character. And we should do something with this character because she's kind of important. And I'm like, yes.
I know. Well, I'm curious to know like what the like how Jen like I wish I was a fly on the wall. Because I like really wish I could hear those conversations because I feel like Jen had like a really good I don't know, she was there to like revive a small role essentially.
Yeah.
And like now it's this whole woman with like this
Yeah.
past and this backstory and this book and this whole show. Because the thing is about Andor is I've always seen it as like a Mon Mothma and a Cassian.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to show like the parallel between their lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this is just as much as her show as it
Mhm.
is of Cassian's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I think that really solidified for me, getting me super duper hyped, was Anaheim Celebration in 2022 when they were on the live stage together. Because I was like,
yeah,
so she's actually like a real character this time. She's
Yeah.
gonna actually have things to do. And I just Mon and Bix meeting, I feel like is just gonna be because Mon has been through it. She has dealt with a lot at the hands of the Empire, and I feel like the two of them will just have things to connect over because they both have scars that you cannot see.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
all of that, like, their scars are all internal, and that can lead to a lot of things like, oh, did this happen like the way that I remember it? And like, second guessing yourself and, oh, maybe if I had done this differently or if this had gone differently. And because they're both women, you know, I just feel like their bond is going to be very, very strong.
yeah. It also makes me wonder if they do meet, like, will there be a tie-in between because like what Bix was listening to on the headphones were like the screams from the genocide.
Yeah.
Like the Gorman massacre is very similar situation. So it's like maybe I don't know, maybe they'll talk about how like the Empire has been doing that for a long time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want them to meet.
It would fix my life and also ruin my life because I'd just be like, need to write 30,000 stories where they're best friends on a beach sipping cocktails.
They go to Scarif in the universe where nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah. Mon's like, it's fine. I bullied Krennic. Scarif is cleared of everybody. We just have to go. We're just gonna go sit on the beach for a bit. Bix is like, can I blow something up? And Mon's like, sure. Go ahead. I support you. Yeah. I'm not going to be okay for season 2.
I know, it'll be a lot to handle.
Yeah, I feel like because, as I've discussed with multiple people, they have to give us the first episode of Andor at Celebration, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I hope. I hope it's not. I kind of hope it's not all 3.
Mm-hmm.
If it's all 3, then it's at least like an hour and a half of our day.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, that's not a long time, but in then celebration time, like that's
several years where you can't have your phone out at all because they will literally like drag you from there.
I know. So hopefully it's just the first episode, but I am curious to know like why they're premiering it like the 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll still be in Japan.
Yeah.
Will. So
yeah. Because I think I fly back on like the 23rd. So I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna download the 3 episodes and watch them on a loop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, no, I'm still not okay. But I feel like, giving us the first episode, how many of us are just gonna be catatonic on the floor afterwards? Just like, so that was a thing that just happened, and we have to wait how long to watch the other 2?
I know. Well, how do you feel about the 4-week format, the 3 episodes at once?
It's gonna be like being stabbed in the gut 4 weeks in a row, which is slightly easier than 9 or 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm a fan of that format.
I'm like, it'll feel like getting a little new Star Wars movie every week.
Yeah. And then it's like, I feel like it's easily more digestible. I know some people have been saying the opposite, but I think that like watching one movie a week sounds like a fun way. I don't know. Like we'll be able to process like the years that they were in. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I trust them, and I trust Tony and his vision and whatever is going on inside that wonderful head of his. And so, if he's like, yeah, like this is the way that we should do it, then I trust in that. Because I'm like, a little movie every week. And then you know what else is a movie? Rogue One. And that's how I end up on the floor. Also it means that overall less time I'm going to need to be unavailable from work. Because I'm taking Tuesday nights off and I'm taking Wednesdays off during the show because I just won't be able to.
That's what I did too, and I just got the days approved as well. Like I took the day after off because we're not open past 3. So I was like, okay, so I'll be home in time. But yeah, I took the day after off because I was like, well, I'm gonna need an entire business day to talk about the shows and rewatch it again and again.
Yeah, exactly. I need to pick it apart. I have work to do. With this show, this
is my non-paid internship, and
I'm like, this is the work that I do for Mon Mothma. How do I turn all of this into pro Mon Mothma propaganda? I love it. But it also means I'm probably gonna have to buy less boxes of tissues, probably, if I have like 1 per week.
Oh,
just to go through.
Yeah, that's funny. I know.
So I'm just gonna. It's gonna be like one episode finishes. It's gonna be like next. What do I do now?
There's no episode after that.
Yeah,
watching 3 of them.
Yeah. It's gonna be like how I got through season 1 was, I'd watch the episode. And then I just watch it on repeat until the next episode came out, and then I'd add all of them together and then wait for the next one and then all of them together again.
That's a good way to
this is a problem. This is a problem.
It's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have. Like, there's worse things I could be doing with my time. You know, there's
Yeah.
worse ways that I could be spending my money.
You could be buying drugs.
Exactly. Like real recognized drugs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Andor counts as a drug in the eyes of the law.
In Star Wars Twitter law, it is a drug. Or in Star Wars Blue Sky law.
Yeah. And it's just like the meme where it's just like, y'all got any more of that? Like, y'all got any more of those Andor episodes?
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay.
It is fine.
They're out. They're no longer going to be an issue. Okay. I have Marva's sun catcher there that Kelly Knox made for me, and Jackie like thinks it's a toy. So, but I know it's. I love all Star Wars equally, but there's just something about Andor that like just really hits home for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it has like it feels just very cinematic in a way that the other shows to me haven't felt. And that's not to say that they're like bad, but Andor's just my cup of tea. Like it's everything I fell in love with Star Wars because it's like my first introduction to it was the rebellion. So it's like how for some people the prequel is like they fell in love with like the Jedi and the Sith aspect of it. So like that means a lot more to them, but like the rebellion, I don't know. It's just it like hits different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like, you know, it also feels more grounded than a lot of Star Wars. And
yeah,
I hate to bring it up because I kept using this word when I was talking about the Mask of Fear, but it is so timely as well to the world that we are living in that it makes bonding with these characters so much easier because it's like, oh, their struggles are the same as our struggles right now. Like we currently dealing with governments that don't listen to the people, that don't care, that just care about more power for themselves. And, you know, so few politicians give half a crap about their jobs, and even fewer give a crap about their constituents. So that rare glimmer of hope that I have when I see Mon, and I'm just like, she's trying her best, you know?
Yeah.
And there's like a huge target on her back, right? But then I look at other politicians and I'm like, why can't you be more like Mon Mothma? Right. And, you know, seeing characters that aren't big, huge heroes like Jedi or, you know, even princesses like Leia, just like ordinary people, like the people of Ferrix, they are like, they're doing all of this and it hits closer to home because that's just a community of people that's just like, no, we've had enough of you screwing us over. Like, we're done with this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so. And like, you know, what happened to Bix could happen to anybody. And that hurts to think about. There's just like, oh, you know, you trusted somebody who betrayed your trust. And long story short, now you're being like tortured and interrogated. And it's so tragic. And
I know. It makes me wonder like how many more people before Bix did Dr. Gorse do this to? And it's like, are they torturing her? Like, is the Gorman massacre this is like definitely a reach, but is the Gorman massacre like one of the situations that the Empire is like doing this? But I don't know. It's a scary thought. And I hope that like Bix, it's crazy. I mean, it's like, it's sad that she had to go through something like this for like, and then her come out radicalized because of it. And like, I'm really excited. Like, I think it's so rare where we see people just literally say like, fuck the Empire.
Yeah.
Like in like, I don't know. I've never said fuck on a podcast before. But it's like, I'm just like Marva where they had to cut it. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I said fight.
Exactly. It's Yeah, it'll be so satisfying. I think like whatever her ending will be, I'll be satisfied because I know that she's like not gonna go down without a fight.
Oh yeah. Like if anything, she has grown stronger and harder
Yeah.
because, and I think that's one of the things that this show is trying to show us is that, you can be that like gentler person, but once you've gone through enough, you become like there's a fire inside of you that gets stoked with every single blow that you get dealt. And I'm on board. I'm just like, if she's going down, she's gonna fight. It's gonna be very much like, something that she goes into knowing that she's going to be like, this is like, if I do this, there's a chance that I'm gonna like not going to make it out alive, and I've acknowledged that, and I'm going to fight even harder because of it. Because if I go down, I'm taking as many of them with me as I possibly can, which is also how like I kind of describe Saw Gerrera in a way where I'm like, he knows by the time of Rogue One that he's probably not going to make it through this fight. And he's like, I need to take as many of them with me as I can, right? Yeah. And that is such a thing, I think, for Jin as well. And I don't know, I just feel like the women that Cassian is closest with would share that trait of, one fighter with a sharp stick can take the day.
Yeah.
Bix meeting Saw would.
Yeah, that'd be really
I'm
cool.
like.
Especially because I wonder if that's Willman in the where like Saw is like shaking soldier mask.
You're here and you're ready to fight. Like
it's so fun to think about, but also but going back to like Cassian and the like women he surrounds himself with, like I love that he has always been like inspired by them.
Yeah.
He's inspired by his sister and Jin and Bix and Marva and Mon ultimately. And it's like, I really hope that like when when Cassian and Mon meet, like it's like they're like platonic soulmates to me in a way where like they're almost two halves of the same coin whatever thing is. But maybe I think too much about their relationship, but I definitely feel like it has like a lot of meaning. And like I would love to see Mon's reaction to like knowing that she lost Cassian. So and like knowing what he went through.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Especially because he gives so much of who he is to the rebellion, and so does she. Like they are two characters who I think like really fully acknowledge like I am at risk every single day. Like I am giving this rebellion everything that I have. And they don't play games about it. They're like, Cassian's like, I've been fighting essentially since I was 6 years old, right? And Mon's like, she's been a senator since she was 16. And yeah, sure, the Senate wasn't that bad, but she also became a senator right around the time of the Naboo crisis, which is when things started to go very much downhill. And so she's basically been fighting in the Senate for decades, fighting for, even like not just the people of Chandrilla, but also like the other people of the galaxy. Because she realizes, if they're going to get away with this several times on smaller worlds with other populations, eventually it's going to hit us here in the core. And ultimately they do, right? Because the Empire takes out Alderaan, and the second Death Star, they wanted to take out Chandrilla. They wanted to take out Mon Cala because they were so invested with, if even one person on your planet holds these ideals and beliefs, everyone's going to pay, right? And that's also part of the like new rulings with like any local festival or cultural event. If that's being used to like for partisan activity, the whole like everyone's going to suffer. We're not going to tolerate that sort of thing anymore. And I fully believe the people of Ferrix knew this when they used Marva's funeral as an uprising,
Mhm.
which, you know, super important. Like, for me, it hurts because Marva was obviously really important to Bix, and Bix never really got to say goodbye to her, you
No.
know?
Yeah.
And I do think that overall, Marva is resting well, knowing that her people fought back and they made her a part of that. Because that's what she wanted to do. Like you mentioned that Cassian is inspired by Marva and Bix and Jin, but also Marva was indirectly inspired by Cassian without her even knowing it. Because she cited
Yeah.
Aldani and she was like, oh yeah, like, you know, they did this. And he was like, yeah, and people died. And she's like, you know, because I
Yeah.
think at that, like she at that point acknowledges, she's like, I'm old. I'm doomed. I don't care anymore. Like, what's the worst they can do to me? And so I do think that again, like Bix is definitely also inspired by that because she's just like, she's a lot. She's like, she feels very like externally soft and very gentle, but she also has that spirit and that fire inside of her. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so Mon Mothma core of you because, you know, you just look at them and they're just like, hi, we just look really sweet and innocent. And then we're like, we can actually like fight like nobody's business. And I'm like,
I love that for them.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna hurt. I just, when we know her fate, I really hope that we get more stories with Bix outside of Andor, you know?
Me too. I want a book.
Yeah. Like either before or after Andor.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, hey, like we're getting Acolyte books. We should get some Andor books as well.
I know. Yeah. Getting even like with Jackie and Yord, getting a whole book with them, like before
Yeah.
they pass away. Like that's nice knowing that that's not like the last time we see them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I hope they do more
Yeah.
of Bix, if that
Yeah.
is the last time we see her visually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just had a vision. A Bix book with Adria doing the audiobook. The way I would be face down on the floor screaming.
He has one of the most beautiful voices ever,
He
too.
does. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I've been watching like almost all of her movies very slowly. I just watched Blink twice, and she has like such a personality in that movie. I could watch her in literally anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think one of my favorites of hers that isn't Andor is probably Hitman with Glenn Powell. Because I'm like, wow, it's two hot people in the lead roles. Nice. Right? I'm
she's
like, I have two eyes.
she's going to be in this one movie of with this one Brazilian actor. I can't believe his name is leaving me because I love him as an actor. He was the wolf in Puss in Boots. He was
Oh
dead.
my gosh.
Yeah, I can't believe
Okay.
leaving me. But
Yeah.
it's based off of a book, and it's
Mhm.
so good, and it's gonna be really tragic. And I don't feel like this is a spoiler because this is like on page 1. You find this out, but like the wife is dead in the book.
Mhm.
And he's like retelling this story all the way up until she dies. So
Mhm.
I was like, man, of course you would do like the tragic wife story with a beautiful husband, and she's always signing up for the saddest roles.
Yeah. Yeah. But oh, phenomenal actress, phenomenal character. I just the characters in this show, they are so real to me. And I just like most of these characters, I'm like, wow, I could actually go out and have a drink with you and have a conversation with you. Like that's how real you feel to me. Like I know people in my real life who are more one-dimensional than you are, and you are a fictional character, which is crazy to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to discuss about sweet Bix, my beloved?
I don't think so. I could spend
Okay.
all day and all night talking about her, but I know you said
Yeah.
you were gonna ask me a question.
Yes. Yes. Okay. What are you most looking forward to in Andor season 2?
Well, we talked about it about Bix,
Yeah.
but Bix aside, well, we're gonna see like the beginning of the rebellion. So
Yeah.
I think that I've always wondered what that is like where it roots, where its roots start to grow. That's like not the Ghost Crew's point of view. It's like from
Yeah.
this point of view. And also I'm really excited to see Melshi and Cassian's friendship grow. Those are my pookie baby pies.
I love Melshi. I love him so much.
He was like my number one glove shido, and I know he graduated from that status, but like he still always will be in my heart. But yeah, and also just like how Mon gets to like where we meet her in Rebels. Like I just want to know like that bridge and how that's built essentially.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane to watch. Yeah. Oh, Melshi. The meanest thing I can say about Kino Loy is that he didn't understand Melshi's baby girlism.
I know, no, that's so true.
I was like, I like you, Kino, but can you please acknowledge that Melshi is baby girl? I love him.
He needs the A24 baby girl sweater.
Yeah.
somebody buy Duncan Powell that.
Like I was like, Kino Loy is watching from his watery grave as Jin whacks Melshi in the head with that shovel.
And he's like, finally.
He's like, yes, vindicated.
Somebody else hates him a little bit more than that.
And then he has to watch Melshi die side by side with Jin, essentially, because, he goes with the scarif and he's like, why?
Once
why
Melshi,
did you
I know once Melshi gets wherever Kino is, he's like, no, go back. Go back.
You need to, if I'm dead, you stay alive forever. Maybe Kino is alive, though. Maybe someone did get him some arm floaties.
I don't want to think about it. No.
All right. Your favorite and least favorite original Andor characters.
Okay. Favorite original and least favorite?
Least favorite original, yeah.
Okay, favorite besides Bix, because I know we've been talking about her this whole time. Brasso, he's a real one.
Yeah, we love him.
I think I would actually lay down my life. And then my least favorite is Tim.
Real.
Yeah. There's no like characters I can hate. Like I can't even hate Skeen.
Yeah.
Like
Scheme.
Scheme.
We figured it out. Little schemer.
So Tim. Yeah. I can't even hate Nurchi either because Nurchi was just trying to get by. It's like Tim was just being an asshole.
Yeah. Nurchi is just a guy who listened to Bitch Better Have My Money by Rihanna one too many times.
He took it way too seriously.
Yeah, but like I can't remember, I think it was to Beth that I said, I was just like, Bix, if you're gonna cry over a man, can it please be a better man than Tim? Like, cry over Brasso or Cassian, like anybody but Tim.
I know, don't you need for him?
Yeah. I think it's kind of obvious why you chose this topic. It's because you love Bix so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have explanation.
when I was asking you, like, because for a few of the people that I was asking to come and do a video, I was just like, I have a feeling I know who they're going to pick, but I'm putting question marks for now. And yeah, you and Beth were two of them. I was like, I know she's gonna pick Dedra, and I know she's gonna pick Bix. Like, this is how it is. And sure enough, I was right. I was like, yes, look at me go.
You didn't. I know. I don't know. I feel like
So
the
smart.
only other one I would probably pick would be Cassian, but
That's true. Yeah.
Bix is, I said earlier I was gonna put her in my pocket, so.
And carry her around. Yeah, she's just so precious. And like the Andor screen where it's got Bix on it, I'm like, she's so cute. Just cup her little face. Wrap her in a blanket, give her some tea. Like, yeah, it's. I feel that way about a lot of characters, but Bix and Mon are two of them where I'm just like blankie tea.
Yeah.
And it's like you've given me 18 cups of tea today. I'm like, shh, drink more. I need it. It's
like
good for the soul.
Bouncing off the wall from all the caffeine in here.
Like, don't worry. I slipped the anxiety medication that you obviously both need into it. You'll be fine.
The SSRI.
Yeah. Bix is going to be on SSRIs, and it's Dedra's fault. Mon's blame, like the blame for Mon's goes to her parents. Like 100%. But Bix is like Dedra. It's Dedra's fault. Literally tortured her. What are your favorite things about Mon Mothma?
I feel like that's almost a loaded question, but I kind of like as a like I'm gonna be like jokey about it, like not the whole time, but like
Yeah.
she's such a diva to me, and I mean that as like a compliment.
It's just a female version of a hustler. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And like I just feel like she's so like real in her way where like she just has like all these really real issues. Like anybody could have problems with their husband. Like anybody could have an argument with their daughter. So it just feels like a very real character. And she finds like solace in her family and like I don't know. And she's just trying to make the world a better place, but she doesn't know how to do that quite. Like it almost seems like she feels like this is all on her shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that selflessness in her where she like is the voice for so many people who don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
So also her outfits.
Slay.
Barbie. We need a Barbie Mon Mothma.
The way I would be like, I could quit my job just to play with my little Mon Mothma Barbie, make videos with her, just be like, this is how I dressed her today.
Make a video on it.
Yeah. Regular outfit of the day videos? Nah. How did I dress my Mon Mothma Barbie today? Which also feels very how I treat Cal Kestis and BD1. It's like, what are we doing today, Barbie?
We're putting on the poncho.
Pink lightsaber, let's go. Yeah, I think that is mostly it. Thank you so much for joining us, Savi. It was wonderful to have you come on and chat. It really does mean a lot. I hope that Andor season 2 makes you happy or as happy as it can.
I think it will. Same to you.
Yeah. I just I'm thinking about how we saw the back of Mon's head and her hair is cut, and I'm like, and then her at what is obviously a wedding, and I'm like, I'm unwell.
I know.
Help me.
Her folklore era dress.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go. Because a lot of her outfits are very like Evermore coded, like her party dress from Narkina 5, the one she's wearing at the wedding. I'm like, my Evermore girly. Yeah. Where can people find you on either the interwebs or because you also have a panel at Celebration? So where can we come and see that? And what is your panel about?
It's okay, so you can find me on Twitter. I'm the same on every social. So if you are looking for me on a social, it's the same but it's at Andorisms, so like Andor and then isms. And then me and my co-host and a close friend are doing a panel at Star Wars Celebration Japan on Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. And it's Saturday at 1 p.m. So if you find yourself free at 1 p.m., we'd love to have you.
Wonderful. And your podcast as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Stardust Records. So you can find, we talk about literally everything Star Wars related there, but we are Rogue One and Andor centric podcast. We're called Stardust Records, and you can find us at Stardust Records, but without the O and records on everything.
Yeah. Cool people spell records without the O. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We did that on purpose and not
you got it
taken.
You gotta drop the vowels sometimes, and then you're really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. For us, Mothma updates and Bejeweled Mothma, and then Friday 4 to 5 Mon Mothma panel, Star Wars Celebration. Happy International Women's Day once again, Bix. We love you.
Have a mimosa this morning.
Yeah. Have all of the mimosas.
Bottomless with Mon Mothma.
Just give them like a large pitcher and a straw each, and I think they'd be fine. Exactly. Brasso can just fireman carry both of them back to the ship and just be like, you guys are like 12 sheets to the wind, and they're just like asleep. Just yes, but thank you once again, Savi, for coming on. Thank you to everyone who has been watching this, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.